Hi, sorry about that. Tried something a little different tonight and looks like I didn't really understand what I was doing. So hopefully I'm on now. I think I am. Okay, so I think I'm on live now. So I've been going live every night on through YouTube Studios, and I'm on StreamYard tonight. So obviously I didn't know. I thought I was live and I was talking and I really wasn't. So sorry about all that. I'm working all this out. Bear with me. I appreciate, you know, hanging in there with me anyway. Hopefully you do. I would like to celebrate. We have 20 subscribers now. So whoever you are, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It doesn't let me see exactly who you are, but obviously I know who some of you are. But anyway, I'm excited. I have 20 subscribers. I want to grow many more very soon, hopefully. So, just to let you know, tomorrow night we're going to do Friday fun night, conversation and cocktails. And then Monday we will do Back the Blue or Defund the Police, whichever one. I know what I want, but that's what we'll do. Anyway, so to get to tonight, let's look and see. We do have two people in the chat. We have Fred and Ashley. And yeah, they're commenting on how I actually am live finally. I got it figured out. So thanks, guys. Thanks for your support. I appreciate it. Any support I appreciate very much, believe me. And I realize that it's a little frustrating that as I'm learning this and you learning it with me. I understand that's a little frustrating. And I'm going to do my best. So, and I'm going to introduce this one because her daddy is gone this week and she's missing her daddy a lot. So she's on mama's lap. This is Libby. We have 3 of these spoiled little brats. 3 chihuahuas, 3 yapping chihuahuas. So, anyway, she's on mama's lap. So, tonight I thought we would go through some updates on the Marvon McCray case and Kiely Rodni case. And with Marvon, it's obviously the escalating nonsense that has been going on, and very unfortunate once again. Now it appears that there is a police report. I'm not sure that means anything. That mean, go ahead and make a report. That doesn't necessarily mean anything's going to happen, but it just means that the ridiculousness has escalated even further. Okay. Now I think she wants to be on there. So we did find out that Nonsense is not KJ, and clearly they are involved with one another. There's no doubt about that. And KJ on her panel was BS. Everybody knows it. So whatever. That's all, whatever that is. And hopefully they'll just get it worked out and, the police can shut it down, but that doesn't mean that people are going to stop talking about it. I don't believe for 1 second that Uni's going to stop talking about it. I don't believe that KJ's going to stop being behind all the scenes of nonsense. But continue to pray for Marvon, please. That would be, honestly, that's what's been left out of this whole thing. And it's a very tragic situation. So again, I just ask that, that prayers for Marvon. He needs them. So for the Kiely Rodni case, what we have this week is, so the Sun came out with an article a couple of days ago. I have the link in my description below. And not to read all of it, but as far as Jagger goes, Nevada County sheriffs told the U.S. Sun on Tuesday, early in the investigations, our detectives made contact with Jagger Westfall. After a detailed interview, he was ruled out as a person of interest. There's a whole lot to me as far as that goes, just in that saying. By the way, that was confirmed by the Nevada County Sheriff's Department by Criminality, a YouTube channel. She did get that confirmed. I was on her live chat when that happened, and that did happen. So the Sun, is what it is. But so what I see a lot in this is, first of all, early. That's, before she was found, or, what exactly does early mean? Because as things develop, I think that obviously that could change. But so there's that. Then there's also the fact that person of interest, they've yet to acknowledge that there was a crime committed. And their actions have showed that they don't believe there was a crime committed, and that they ever thought there was. And that's what's really disturbing, is that it seemed right away they didn't feel there was a crime. And that's very unfortunate, because when you have no idea what's happened, and then to know that never, at no time was anything ever roped off. There was never any kind of, the parents went and cleaned up the party mess. I mean, there was literally, people were just milling about, doing what they were doing all throughout there. They never, ever closed any of that. So when did they think there was that they would even have a person of interest? When did they ever, and when did they decide he wasn't? And how so? It's very disturbing to me. As she says, probably had an alibi that night. Was he supposed to have been at the party? No, he says he was not at the party. Now, this is what's really frustrating. So at 8 o'clock in the morning, her mother woke up, saw that she was not home, called her best friend, and her best friend said, no, last I saw her was at the party, but we're supposed to meet at Starbucks at 9 because they were all going to go camping that next day. So the mom went to Starbucks to wait for her, and the kids went out to the party scene. I found that very odd, first of all. Once she never showed up at Starbucks, they called the police. So what happened is Jagger, being the ex-boyfriend, said he was in Napa, and apparently, so I don't. He was 4 hours away. He's made very clear, 4 hours away. So his mother apparently called him at 8 o'clock because he was, in his words, back in Truckee at noon. He's 4 hours away. Then he immediately left, but back in Truckee, because he lives in Reno, I guess. He doesn't live in Truckee. So he was not at the party, but he immediately came to Truckee and stayed with the mom. But right away, where he went to look for her was in Reno. He was interviewed by the news at a Kentucky Fried Chicken in Reno looking for her. And that didn't make a lot of sense because she had been in Truckee. So, but most people didn't see him as a suspect. Most people saw Sammy as completely inserting herself and making a big old scene, taking over the investigation. But so did Jagger as well. Jagger actually posted to have that the police wanted him to filter all tips to them. Well, I can't imagine that's true. But the police never really acted like anything much different. Fred says, no crime scene. Someone was killed. How does the mother go to bed not knowing daughter is home? Yeah, I take issue with some of that myself. Especially she's 16 years old. It's hard enough to do it whenever your kids are 35, 34, 10, whatever age. But yeah, there's that. What's more troubling by the mother, though, is the fact that with such suspicious circumstances as how her daughter was found, what she wants is for everybody to move on, quit talking about it. There is peace in silence, and there is kindness in minding your own business. It's all quite strange. It's beyond strange to me. Truckee isn't far from Reno, but far enough to... Right. That's exactly right. It's not far from there. But why would you look there when she was last seen in Truckee? It just doesn't make any sense. And he and Kate were in Reno. We've since learned that him and Kate have been friends with benefits, basically. And that was supposedly a good friend of Kiely's. So who knows? And then the whole issue with the truck drive, the roadside assistance guy, he pretty much gives a spot on description of Jagger. So I don't know. Everything is really super crazy with all of this. It's very frustrating to me. And I think really what's going to happen, as long as we don't find out that they're going to call it an accident. If that happens, people are not going to accept it. Again, she did not put herself in the hatchback with the seatbelt from the back seat over her. That she didn't drive into that lake like that. And then we have the whole issue with the Check It TV. I'm not sure how I feel about this guy. I thought I liked him at first, but I'm pretty sure I absolutely don't like him at all at this point. I knew clearly in the very beginning he was weird because he's just a weird person. That's something you could see right off the bat. But whatever. So he's the guy who went 2 weeks after they recovered her vehicle and found evidence from the vehicle on the bottom of the lake that you could see straight through. You could see it. You could see the bottom. Now he decided right off the bat, he decided that he was going to try to strike anybody and everybody for using his content, which is really not necessarily. There are terms and conditions when you can use other people's content. So good luck with that. And then now I've noticed that every single thing he does says, he is copywritten everything. But go ahead. He's burning his own bridge, if you ask me. He got about 10,000 subscribers for doing this, and calling all kinds of people out probably hasn't helped him so much. I definitely unsubscribed and don't care to even really listen to him. But he went in and dropped this big major thing yesterday where he published the video where he gave some of the items to her grandfather. And what's really ridiculous to me is that I don't need to mention that he has a list, but that's probably irrelevant. But at this point, he irritates me. So with his lisp, he went ahead and told the grandfather that he believes that these items fell out when the vehicle went in. Well, that makes zero sense. First of all, the video that you see from Adventures with Purpose shows those items in the vehicle at the time. And who is he to decide when that happened? He's not an investigator. I don't want to call him exactly what I think of him, but irritating. So he tells the grandfather this, and the grandfather says, well, maybe, well, that's stupid because it doesn't even matter. I don't even care when those items went into the lake. The law enforcement should have dove down and retrieved all of the evidence. That makes zero sense. And who cares when that guy thinks that stuff came out of the car? So, he had his big, he had been building up to it. I know before I quit subscribing to him, he was building up to this big thing. And then I disregarded it because I don't care about him. I care that the law enforcement never tried to retrieve the evidence. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry, I need to look here. There is peace and silence. There is also rice and china. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ashley says, seriously, even if you know what happened, you don't move on. No. What parent doesn't say something's weird here? I want to know what happened to my child. Well, it's kind of worth watching that memorial service. Extremely weird, if you ask me. The mother said that it wasn't her daughter, it was the community's daughter. Well, that's where her and I differ 1,000,000%. Absolutely not the community's daughter. Not in any, I don't even share with the community, okay? Whatever. Back seat belt was around her, buckled. No way, she was driving. No, you know where she was? She was in the hatchback, and the back seat belt was pulled around and sticking out of and shut in the back hatch. Mm-hmm. How did that happen? Yeah, definitely an issue. Hey, Travis is here? Oh, yes, he is. Hi, Travis. Did she not drive the car 50 feet into the lake upside down? Right. No, there's so much wrong with all of this. And there's been a lot. I had a little back and forth yesterday with somebody because everybody is saying, quit talking about it. You're not helping anybody. It's over with. It's done. Well, no, we're not going to quit talking about it because it's not over with. It's most definitely not over with. And we are entitled to some answers. I totally understand that the police have to keep a lot of evidence to themselves. They have to preserve evidence for integrity. They just do. They do. They can't tell everything. I understand that 100%. But you do need to come out and say that there was a crime committed. You should have roped off an area. People were kayaking, picnicking, carrying on right there with her there. They told Adventures with Purpose that they had cleared that lake. Don't need nothing to see here, folks. Yeah. They found her within 15 minutes in that lake. No, something doesn't smell right here. So, but no, law enforcement does owe us something. They do. They do work for us. We are part of a community. We are taxpayers. And no, they do owe us something. They do need to say something. They absolutely do. They need to tell us a crime was committed because it was. And too many times we're doing this. We're allowing this to go on. And honestly, it's not okay. It's the same as politicians. Again, I'm not trying to impede their investigation. I would never want that to happen. But you can't pretend that there's not an investigation. You can't. Summer Wells, nobody wants to talk about it. Delphi murders, they still don't want to tell us. It's nonsense. And obviously, you want to be careful with the rush to judgment, because then you have, I don't know, Casey Anthony kind of thing. I don't know. They need to do their job, and I'm not trying to tell them how to do it, but they absolutely do need to do it. And it's going to be a very big problem if they come out and say that was an accident, because nobody on earth will believe that. And I wish I could remember the name. I should do a deep dive on this one, because there is a woman who locked herself in her apartment, deadbolt, and the chain, stabbed herself 17 times. And it's suicide. So, if they want to just call something that, they will. We know this. We know that if they get fixated on somebody, we have Brendan Dossie or whatever in prison. That's asinine. Everybody knows that. But so they will do whatever they want. We understand that. And I'm not trying to stop them from doing their job, but I insist they do their job. And it takes a village to raise an idiot. Right. Not your business. It's not the village's business. Not my kids aren't. Right. She didn't drive the car in there. No. And that's the thing. Her boyfriend keeps coming out, or ex-boyfriend, Jagger, keeps coming out and saying, everybody needs to just accept it. And he says, I don't know why, Kiely. I'm trying to tell them to just let you lay in peace. Why they can't understand that you were drunk driving and, it's over with. Somebody needs to tell these kids to shut the F up, if you ask me. Mom sounds stupid. She is stupid. She's weird. You look nice. Thanks, sis. Oh, you know that case, Ash, right? Yeah, the boyfriend kicked the door in or something. He was at the... Now, how do you stab yourself in the back? Ay. Ellen Greenberg, that was her name. Crazy. Yeah, that is totally crazy. That one's drove me nuts for so long. The school teacher, they were getting ready to get married. Yep, yep. And we're all good here. Yeah, before you even called 911, the boyfriend called his uncle, the lawyer or something. Yeah, that's the kind of shit that people can't stand for. People don't have to stand for that. We don't have to. So, don't tell me to quit talking about it. I'm not going to quit talking about it. And I'm starting to wonder why we're not hearing anything about, well, I can't even remember her name because we haven't heard anything about her, the jogger from a couple weeks ago. I haven't heard much about that lately. And clearly it's a thing because I think they immediately dismissed the husband. My problem with that one is, so you got the guy who did it. Obviously, he left his flip-flops on the scene, whatever. But what was his motive? Wasn't sexual, wasn't money. I see zero motive in that. But anyway, I'll get off on the weeds here if you let me. AKA Chris Rock shot himself in the head 5 times. Chris Rock. I don't know who that is. Oh, Eliza Fletcher. Yeah, yeah. Right. I mean, they had that thing wrapped up in 2 days. Done. Weird. Weird. I just don't see a motive for that guy. I don't. Oh, right. Yeah. Shot it. Okay, I get it. Right. How do you shoot yourself 5 times? Clarity. It's silliness. It's silliness. I don't even know how someone stabs themselves once. But, you know, she's just cutting up fruit, and next thing you know, decides to just stab herself in the back. Absolutely odd. So I guess that's the big news now. So if you want to go and check out Check It TV and see how irritating that guy is, that's up to you. He disturbs me in a lot of ways. It's good that he found the evidence, but there have been people say that because he said he kept trying to call law enforcement, and that's why he had to go on YouTube and just film it because law enforcement didn't want to hear it. But yet people say that he actually never called law enforcement. I don't know if he did or not. I find him very odd. I think he's a strange guy. And don't try to tell people how you think the evidence got there. You're not an investigator. What does that mean? Stupid. And he drops a video. He did some big build up to it. Like, whatever. I think you're stupid. Right. Yeah, it's what he had to do. Here you go. Yeah, and big shocker. He grew his YouTube page or channel by 10,000 subscriptions. -1, which is mine because I said no, I can't be part of that. So, thank you guys so much for showing up. Don't forget, tomorrow night we're going to have Friday fun night with conversation and cocktails. And Monday we're going to do Back the Blue or Defund the Police. So, that's what we're going to do. And say goodnight, Libby. Okay, thanks you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. I liked the back and forth. That was nice. And sorry about my glass. They are causing a glare, but I was trying to read some stuff. So thanks, guys, for being here. Love you guys. Come back, like, and share, please. I gotta figure out how to stop this, just so you know.